Look at a traditional incandescent light bulb. Inside the glass, there is a tiny filament made of tungsten. When you flick the switch, electricity rushes into that filament. It glows bright orange. It generates massive amounts of heat. It vibrates with intensity. And eventually, usually after a few thousand hours, it burns out. It snaps. It fails. Now, compare that to a copper wire. That wire can carry 1,000 times more energy than the light bulb. It powers entire cities. It moves millions of volts. Yet, if you touch the copper wire while it is insulated, it is cool. It is silent. It does not vibrate. It does not burn out. It can last for 100 years. What is the difference? Why does the light bulb struggle and burn, while the copper wire transmits power effortlessly? The answer is electrical resistance. The filament has high resistance. It fights the flow of the energy. It struggles against the current passing through it. That struggle creates friction. That friction creates heat, and that heat leads to destruction. The copper wire has low resistance. It allows the current to flow without judgment, without blocking, and without fear. This is the exact diagnostic of your financial life. Most of you are living like the light bulb. You are working 12 hours a day. You are stressed. You are anxious. You are literally burning out. And despite all that heat, despite all that effort, your bank account remains empty. You are generating light and heat, but you are not generating wealth. You believe the problem is that you need more power. You think you need to work harder, hustle more, or find a better job. You believe you have a supply problem. You are wrong. The universe has infinite power. The voltage of the market is limitless. You do not have a supply problem. You have a resistance problem. You are biologically and psychologically blocking the current of wealth from passing through your avatar. You have internal resistors installed in your psychology, guilt, shame, and fear that are strangling the flow. Welcome to the Thermodynamics of Wealth. We are not going to talk about the law of attraction or manifesting checks in the mail. We are going to talk about Ohm's law. We are going to apply physics to your wallet. We are going to show you why your moral judgment of money is the friction that is keeping you poor. And we are going to teach you how to lower your resistance to zero so you can become a superconductor. Open the communication channel. Identify yourself as the wire, not the obstacle. Write, I am the current. Let us strip away the mysticism and look at the etymology. The word currency comes from the Latin word currere, which means to run or to flow. It is the exact same root as the word current in electricity. This is not a poetic coincidence, it is a functional description. Money acts exactly like electricity. It is a neutral charge. It has no morality. It has no brain. It has no preference. It simply follows the path of least resistance. If you build a circuit that is open and conductive, electricity must flow through it. It has no choice. It is a law of physics. If you build a circuit that is blocked and insulated, electricity cannot flow through it. It is also a law of physics. The problem with the modern spiritual community is that they treat money like a reward for being good. They tell you that if you are a kind person, the universe will reward you. This is false. There are many kind people who are broke. There are many cruel people who are billionaires. Electricity does not care if the wire is kind. It only cares if the wire is conductive. You must stop looking for money as a moral test. You must start looking at money as energy transfer. In thermodynamics, energy cannot be created or destroyed. It can only be transferred. Wealth is simply the transfer of value from one node in the network. If you are not receiving the transfer, it is not because the universe is punishing you. It is because your internal circuitry is set to reject. You have high impedance. You are pushing the energy away with a force field of subconscious beliefs. To fix this, we must look at the equation that governs reality. In 1827, a German physicist named Georg Ohm discovered the relationship between voltage, current, and resistance. This formula, known as Ohm's law, is the master key to your bank account.
Ohm's law states that current equals voltage divided by resistance. Written mathematically, it is I equals V divided by R. Let us use a visual analogy. Imagine a massive hydroelectric dam. The water held back behind the dam represents voltage. It is the potential energy. It is the infinite abundance of the universe waiting to move. The pipe that lets the water flow out is your mindset. The water actually flowing through the pipe to turn the turbine is your current. That is your money. Now, imagine there is a giant rock stuck inside the pipe. That rock is resistance. It does not matter how much water is behind the dam. It does not matter how high the voltage is. If the pipe is blocked by the rock, only a tiny trickle of water comes out. Most of you are asking the universe for more rain. You want more voltage, but your pipe is blocked. If you add more pressure to a blocked pipe, do you know what happens? It bursts. This is why lottery winners often destroy their lives. They received high voltage, but they had high resistance. The circuit exploded. To become wealthy, you do not need more pressure. You need to remove the rock. You need to lower the resistance, R, down to near zero. When resistance is zero, even a tiny amount of effort creates a massive flow of abundance. This is called superconductivity. So what is the rock? What is the invisible force inside your biology that is constricting the hose? We have identified the primary resistor. It is not stupidity. It is not bad luck. It is guilt.
Society, religion, and your upbringing have installed a massive electronic component in your solar plexus. It is a resistor labeled guilt. From the moment you were born, you were programmed with viruses that attack the concept of wealth. You were told that money is the root of evil. You were told that rich people are greedy, selfish, and immoral. You were told that there is a virtue in suffering and poverty. These are not just thoughts. These are neural pathways. These are physical structures in your brain that fire an inhibitory signal whenever you get close to abundance. Here is the mechanism of the failure. Your conscious mind says, "I want to be wealthy." You step on the gas. But instantly, your subconscious mind says, "But I do not want to be a bad person," and it slams on the brakes. The friction between "I want it" and "I am ashamed of it" creates heat. That heat is anxiety. Check your body right now. I want you to think about a large bill you have to pay, or think about checking your bank balance when you know it is low. Observe the physical sensation. Do your shoulders tighten? Does your stomach clench? Is your breath shallow and rapid? That physical tension is not an emotion. That is measurable electrical resistance. When you stress about money, you physically constrict your blood vessels, you tighten your muscles. You are literally squeezing the energy meridians of your body. To become a superconductor, you must remove the moral judgment from the energy. Electricity powers the electric chair that kills people. Electricity also powers the ventilator that saves a premature baby. Is electricity good or bad? Neither. It is just energy. It amplifies the intent of the user. Money is the same. It is an amplifier. If you are a good person, money will make you better. If you are a bad person, money will make you worse. Money does not change who you are. It reveals who you are. Stop judging the tool. Start cleaning the conduit. Now, let us look at your hardware. If your body is the wire, your wallet and your bank account are the capacitors. In circuitry, a capacitor is a component that stores electrical energy in an electric field for later use. How do you treat your capacitor? I want you to mentally open your wallet right now. Is it full of old receipts? Is it stuffed with crumpled cash facing random directions? Is it filled with expired coupons, gum wrappers, and trash? Is the leather ripped or dirty? In thermodynamics, disorder is called entropy. High entropy equals high resistance. If your wallet is a mess, you are broadcasting a signal of high entropy to the financial system. You are telling the universe, "I do not respect this energy. I cannot organize what I have. Do not send me more." You are creating a dirty signal. Energy follows order. Have you ever noticed that successful businesses are clean, organized, and efficient? Have you ever noticed that poverty is often surrounded by clutter, dirt, and chaos? This is not a judgment of character. This is an observation of physics. Chaos repels flow. Structure attracts flow. We are going to initiate the first practical protocol of this transmission. It is called the wallet reboot. This is a physical ritual to lower the entropy of your capacitor. After this video, or right now, take your wallet, empty it completely, throw away the trash. The old receipts are dead energy. Delete them. Take your cash, unfold the corners, iron them with your hand, arrange them in numerical order, face them all the same way. Treat them like honored guests in your home. When you put them back, you are not just cleaning a leather pouch, you are recoding your reticular activating system. You are signaling to your brain that you are now operating at a low entropy state. You cannot pour expensive wine into a dirty cup. You cannot pour high voltage current into a broken capacitor. There is one final trap in the thermodynamics of wealth that we must address in this first phase. It is the trap of hoarding. Many of you hold on to money out of fear. You're terrified to spend. In a circuit, if you stop the flow, the current drops to zero. Electricity must move to exist. Static electricity is useless. Only flowing electricity does work. However, we must be precise with our physics. There is a difference between circulation and leakage. Spending energy on an asset is circulation. An asset is something that grows or improves your capacity. Buying healthy food, paying for a course to learn a skill, investing in your business, or paying rent for a safe home. This expands the circuit. This allows more current to flow. Spending energy on a liability is leakage. A liability is something that decays or drains you. Buying status symbols to impress people you hate, gambling, or buying things to numb your pain. This is a short circuit. This drains the battery. Protocol: high conductivity spending. From today, whenever you spend money on circulation, on the essentials and the assets, do not feel pain. Do not feel loss. Feel gratitude. Say mentally, "Thank you for this service. This energy is flowing out to bless someone else, and it will return to me multiplied." Keep the circuit open, but seal the leaks. Trust the grid. The power plant does not run out of electricity just because you turned on the lights. The scarcity is only in your mind. The supply is infinite.
Pause. Take a deep breath. We have diagnosed the failure in your system. You have been trying to force high voltage through high resistance. You have been operating with a guilt resistor that rejects wealth. You have been storing energy in a high entropy capacitor that is cluttered and chaotic. This is why you are tired. This is why you are stuck. You are fighting the laws of physics. But the diagnosis is only half of the cure. In the second part of this transmission, we are going to give you the tools to rewire the circuit. We will teach you the zero-point calibration to erase the guilt of the past. We will explain the concept of financial inductance, how to build a magnetic field that pulls money to you automatically. But before we proceed, you must accept your new identity. You are no longer a battery that runs out of power. You are a wire connected to the source. Go to the comments and declare your status to the algorithm. Write, "I am the current." Welcome back to the circuit. Now we must perform the most critical operation on your internal motherboard. We must perform a zero-point calibration. Most of you are carrying financial trauma. You remember the time you lost money in a bad investment. You remember the shame of your credit card being declined. You remember the fights your parents had about bills. In physics, this is called hysteresis. When you magnetize a piece of iron and then remove the magnetic field, the iron does not go back to zero. It retains a memory of the magnetism. Your nervous system is the same. It retains the memory of past poverty. Even if you make money today, your nervous system is still vibrating at the frequency of the past trauma. This ghost resistance operates in the background, silently sabotaging your current success. To become a superconductor, you must demagnetize the system. Protocol 3. The neutralization. I want you to think about your biggest financial shame. Maybe it is your debt. Let us reframe debt using physics. Debt
is just time travel. It is simply borrowing energy from your future self to use in the present. It is a serious tool. It is neutral. If you used that energy to build a generator, the debt was a smart transfer. If you used that energy to buy a toy, the debt was an inefficient transfer. But the shame you feel about the debt, that is the killer. The shame adds weight to the electron. It makes the current heavy. You must look at your debt number on the screen. Do not cringe. Do not look away. Stare at it until you feel nothing. Say, this is just a number. This is just data. This is energy I borrowed. I will repay the energy. It does not define my worth. You must forgive your past self for not knowing the laws of physics. You were operating with a broken manual. Release the guilt. When the guilt leaves, the resistance drops. And when the resistance drops, the current flows.
Now that we have cleaned the wire, we can talk about attraction. In the spiritual community, they call this the law of attraction. In electrical engineering, we call this inductance. Faraday's law of induction states that a changing electric current produces a magnetic field. Listen closely. Current creates magnetism. Flow creates attraction. Most people get this backward. They sit on the couch, meditating, visualizing money coming to them. They are waiting for the magnet to work without the current. This violates the laws of physics. A wire with no current has no magnetic field. It attracts nothing. To activate the magnet, you must start the flow first. You must output energy. In the economy, we call this value. Value is not just effort. It is competence. It is skill. You cannot transmit energy if the signal is weak or distorted. You must be good at what you do. You must solve a problem for another node in the network. When you solve a problem with competence, you are lowering the entropy of the system. The system rewards this by sending energy back to you. This is not a reward. It is an equalization of pressure. It is an automatic induction loop. If you are broke, it is because your output current is zero, or your signal is weak. You are waiting for the world to give to you so you can give back. The universe does not work that way. The electron must move to create the field. Master your craft. Output value. The magnetic field will engage automatically.
Before we reach the final state, there is a hidden danger we must address. It is the danger of low capacitance. In electronics, capacitance is the ability of a system to store an electric charge. If you take a small wire designed for a toy and you pump the voltage of a lightning bolt through it, do you know what happens? It does not just conduct, it melts, it explodes. This is the upper limit problem. Most of you are asking the universe for millions, but your nervous system is only calibrated to handle thousands. If the universe answered your prayer today and dropped a massive sum of energy into your account, your internal fuse would blow. You would panic. You would subconsciously find a way to destroy the money just to return to your comfortable level of poverty. This is why lottery winners go broke. They received high voltage into a low capacitance system. To become wealthy, you must stretch the container before the liquid arrives. Protocol 3.5, Financial Progressive Overload. I want you to perform a visualization. Do not visualize spending, visualize holding. Close your eyes. Imagine looking at your bank account. See the number $10,000. Observe your body. Is there excitement? Is there fear? Breathe into it until your heart rate is normal, until it feels boring. Now add another zero, $100,000. If you feel your stomach tighten, that is your capacitance limit. Stay there. Hold the visualization until your nervous system accepts it as normal. You cannot hold an ocean in a thimble. Expand the cup.
We are now approaching the highest state of financial evolution, the superconductor. A superconductor allows energy to pass through it with zero loss. It does not hoard the energy. It does not fight the energy. It is a perfect vessel. To achieve this state, you must completely dissolve the ego's attachment to my money. The ego thinks, I earned this is mine, I must protect it. The spirit knows, I am just the wire, the energy is the universe's, I am just directing it. When you realize you are just the asset manager for the universe, the pressure disappears. This leads to the final protocol. Protocol 4. The grounding wire. In every electrical system, there is a ground wire to prevent overload. In finance, this is the act of giving. Call it tithing, call it charity, call it circulation. It is the act of giving away a percentage of your inflow to a source that inspires you. This is not a religious bribe. This is a psychological hack. Why is this physics? Because it confirms to your subconscious mind that I have enough. Only a person with a surplus can give. When you give, you signal surplus to the simulation. The simulation responds by rendering more surplus. If you say, I will give when I have more money, you are signaling lack, and the simulation renders more lack. You must give from your poverty to break the poverty, even if it is $1. Open the outlet valve. Prove to the system that you are a conductive node, not a dead end. Let us synthesize the entire download. You have moved from a burning light bulb to a cool superconductor. You understand the thermodynamics of wealth. 1. Money is energy. It is neutral. It is innocent. 2. Poverty is resistance. It is caused by the internal friction of guilt. 3. Entropy is blockage. A messy wallet repels the flow. 4. Circulation expands the circuit. Leakage drains the battery. 5. Inductance requires competence. You must output skilled value to create attraction. 6. Capacitance is capacity. You must stretch your nervous system to hold the charge. You are no longer a victim of the economy. The economy is just a macro grid of energy transfer.
You are a node in that grid. You control your own resistance. You control your own capacitance. Stop begging the power plant for electricity. The grid is live. The voltage is waiting at your fingertips. Connect the wire. Drop the guilt. Let it flow.
The transmission is complete. The theory is downloaded. The practice is yours. You have the tools to reboot your wallet and your mind. Do not let this be just another video you watch. Make it the moment the lights turned on. Stand up. Feel the electricity in your nervous system. That is the same electricity that moves the markets. It is you. Go to the comments one last time. Seal your new identity as a vessel of infinite flow. Write, I am the current.
You have now mastered the energy of the material world. You know how to manipulate the current of money. But there is one final fear that makes all of this irrelevant. The fear that ultimately the screen will go black. The fear that the game ends. Death. You chase money because you are afraid of death. You want to build a fortress to protect your temporary avatar. But what if I told you that death is the biggest lie in the simulation? What if I told you that physics proves you cannot die? Not metaphorically, literally. Biocentrism teaches us that consciousness creates the universe, not the other way around. If you create time and space, you cannot die in it. In the next transmission, we are going to face the void. We are going to dismantle the illusion of mortality. We are going to show you the science of your own immortality. And when you lose the fear of death, you become truly dangerous to the Matrix. Prepare for the final liberation. The Matrix 963. Out.